Today I have a very dear friend on our podcast. Her name's Joanne Paratore. And there she is. Say hi, Joanne.
Hello, everybody.
But we're just going to make this, casual because, Lee, you haven't met Joanne. So, introduce yourself.
Nice to meet you, Joanne. Nice to see you. I've been hearing a lot of great things about you.
Same.
Oh, that's neat.
Love to dig into it.
Candid with Kimbra and Ly, conversations about entertainment and more. I just want to start off right away, Joanne. I know some things about you, but I thought we could discover things as we talk, make it more interesting. I know that you grew up in Boston, right? And we actually born in Boston?
Yeah, I actually was brought up in a town called Belmont, which is a suburb of Boston. But yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew you grew up with everyone in your family at least your brothers are into music, right?
Yeah, I have 4 siblings and we were all musicians. The duo pianists and my 2 sisters are pianists. And when I was a kid, I don't know if you wanted to get into this, but
yeah, I always wondered what it would be like to live in a household of musicians.
A little crazy here. It was crazy. I mean, every room practically had a piano in it. This room has 2 pianos in it. And when we were kids, we had a family act, and we performed all over the Northeast.
Was it called the Flying Paratores?
No, just the Paratore family. I mean, we were busy. We were playing all over the place. We had arrangements of whatever were the pop songs during that day, and it was basically my brother on piano, another brother on drums, and my sister and I did dueling harmonies. We had yeah, and we did it was a lot of fun.
Is Marie the one that you did the harmonies with?
Yeah, Marie. Yeah, we still sing together.
Amazing.
Sure, all day. Sometimes I hear my mom and my sister singing while I'm here in the studio trying to work.
I love that. That's awesome. Now, but I know your dad, he did something else, right? He had like a store or something.
My father operated a factory that manufactured men's slippers with his 4 brothers. But on the side, he was a local musical contractor. And he hired his kids. Missed a lot of school.
Right. Oh, you did?
I missed a lot of school, because I was gigging late at, during the week, on the weekends, or maybe even during the week. During the week, sometimes I was doing jingles. I was a jingle singer as a child.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was
like to do the jingles.
That was a lot of fun. That's where I learned how to record. I was just a little kid. I think I was 7 when I started recording jingles with my sister Marie, and we did a lot of commercials for the area. Some of them were national, but they taught me how to overdub. I was only 7 or something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How many kids are there in your family?
There's 5 of us. There's 5. I'm the youngest.
I'm the youngest in my family too.
I'm the baby. Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's great because they always think you're still a kid.
Yeah.
Right. That's like my family. When we go for the family dinners, there's there's the adult table, and then I still sit at the kid table because once a kid, you'll always be a kid.
More fun playing around with kids sometimes too. You don't want to do all that boring adult talk.
Right. Now, you told me once that your dad was real strict about practicing the piano, right? Didn't you? Or was it your mom, or both of them?
It was more my dad. I mean, I think my dad's dream was to be a full-time musician, and so he instilled that in all 5 of us. And he was very strict with us in that, he just wanted us to be practicing and performing all the time, and didn't really encourage us to have a social life as children.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in a way that it worked out for you, right?
Definitely. I'm so glad he was hard on us that way. Yeah.
I know. It's so true. It's always that fine line. You're like, my mom or dad was so strict about forcing you to do whatever instrument, but when you get older, you're like, oh Gosh, I'm so thankful that they were so.
Yeah.
My parents wanted me to do music. They just let me do it but they wanted me to be like a doctor or a lawyer. But I'm
Right.
curious, earlier you said some of the commercials you did national. Or do you want to list or name a couple or one that
Let me see.
you think we might know or that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, any product that was memorable.
Crazy foam.
Crazy foam. What's that for your vet?
It was a foam that you could bring into your bathtub and spray on the walls.
Oh, you know what? I remember that product actually. Yeah. I remember a lot of stuff my mom would just not buy for her.
I want that crazy foam.
Yeah.
Crazy foam. And then locally we did a lot of like commercials for I guess it would be like what Macy's is. It was a store in this
like a department store.
Yeah, department store. And we did the Easter commercials. And I'm sorry.
Did y'all have an agent as a kid, or is it connection?
You see your dad though, right?
Yeah, we didn't really need one. Well, yes, actually, we did have a person that booked us. Yeah, we had a local agent, and he kept us really, really busy. It was weird because we'd go to these gigs, and some of the acts were like they were always adults, and we were just young kids.
Oh,
so it was interesting, and yeah, we became very popular.
Wow, I love
amazing.
It was fun.
So, Joanne, what made you, because I don't think I ever really asked you this, what made you decide to want to come to LA? What was the draw? What was the draw of coming to LA?
Mm-hmm. Well, growing up in learning how to record in the studio as a child, I just loved recording, just loved it. And I wanted to do more of it. And I decided I wanted to make records. And so I was trying to choose between New York City or LA. And while I liked the weather in LA, and
that's always the draw, right?
And just all the recording companies were out there, so I just sort of took a plunge and went. I didn't really know anybody at that time when I first moved there.
I think I met you shortly after you.
You did. You were like one of the first people I met when I moved to LA.
I know. I remember that cute apartment out on Beechwood Canyon. Remember?
Oh yeah, that was cute. That was really cute.
A great location. And then you did a short little stint at the very end of A&M Records, right? Didn't you work at A&M?
Yeah, I did. I worked at A&M for quite some time. Yeah. I wanted to see how the recording industry worked. I was very curious about that. So I was lucky enough to get all kinds of assignments with A&M Records. And I did a lot of projects there with them in different departments. And that sort of led me to meeting Lalo Schifrin.
That's right. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Because when I was at A&M, I was hired by a gentleman there to produce classical records. Mm-hmm. So I went and did that. That was for Four Winds. And I actually hired my brothers to do quite a few of those albums. My brothers are duo pianists.
Perfect.
That's so who don't know, can y'all just give a little synopsis on Lalo Schifrin?
Yeah, Lalo Schifrin composed the famous Mission Impossible theme. So while I was working with him, I had been. What happened was we were going to have a record release party of one of his releases, and so we had it at Capitol Records in Hollywood, that famous stage where the Beatles, and Sinatra and all of that, and we had this huge event for Lalo that night, and I met some radio announcers for the area, the wave announcer Talaya Trigueros, and she brought along with her who eventually became the contractor for the Evanescence album. So I just met them by chance
Wow. I was going to ask you about Evanescence. Yeah, that kind of just,
So,
I just kind of, go ahead.
how did you get connected with A&M?
Oh, that's really interesting.
Jeff, was it?
Yeah. Let me think now how that happened. It was. I knew somebody that worked there. We had a mutual friend, excuse me. And I went for an interview. And honestly, I really didn't know how to do anything. I'm surprised they hired me. But they did hire
That's so
me.
cute. They couldn't resist.
And I worked doing all kinds of things. And eventually, I did a lot of radio promotion there. And that was really interesting because I got to see a lot of really famous people do their videos, like Madonna and Sting, and everybody was there. It was really an amazing opportunity. But that led me, A&M sort of led me to Lalo Schifrin, because at A&M, I met somebody, that was my piano.
Which you're going to have to show us in a minute.
I met, let's see, where was I?
You met
about
Lyle,
how you got the job at A&M.
and then we talked about through his party, you met someone, and then Evanescence and Amy Lee.
Right. I was doing all of these radio promotion for Lalo, blah, blah, blah. And then I got hired by one of the gentlemen that worked at A&M to produce all the classical albums. And that was all, but those were all piano albums that I produced. And that was one of the albums my brothers did. But yeah, so I just sort of ended up there by accident. It really was a wonderful accident. And
serendipitous, as they call it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like, I mean, you started and you just grooved on through, and you had amazing opportunities. So
I just want to add one thing real quick.
Yeah.
That's one thing that is, I don't know, it's important if you're, especially in the entertainment business, is like, you weren't really networking on purpose, but you were networking, right? And it's so important.
Like organically.
Yeah, which is the best way. But
Yeah,
the connections are so important in the entertainment business, because I've gotten recommended for a few jobs by friends, and I mean, you had the talent to back it up, but it was fortuitous, right?
Yeah, it was very fortunate. I mean, it was a little uncomfortable to be working in such a recognized record label, and I was just itching to record myself. So
Right.
You can't, you have to be very diplomatic, and so one thing just led to another. I did all of those classical albums, and then it led to Evanescence, and then. Yeah, that was really incredible because
What was that like working with Amy Lee? I mean, she's got such a big voice. Did you actually orchestrate or help to orchestrate the background vocals and the harmonies and all that?
and what songs?
Well, we kind of, it's really funny because when I was called for the album, no one even knew who Evanescence was at the time. It was their first, release. Mm-hmm. And so I was called the night before, and it was a big surprise to me. So one of the women that I met at Lalo's party was the contractor for the Evanescence project. And so she hired me and maybe like 3 or 4 other gals. There was just a few of us on that first recording, which was Fallen. And yeah, so when we went there early in the morning, and we didn't really know the music at all. And they just played for us, okay, we want you to sing in these 8 bars or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And we designed the vocals in the first album, as we went. Mm-hmm. We layered them. We sang in unison, the bottom line, then the next line, until it was multi-tracked.
Oh, that's what you did. Okay, so you layered them.
We layered them, yeah. But Amy is amazing. I mean, she's incredible. The thing I loved about Amy is that she was a real musician. She was great on the piano. She really knew what she was doing, and she was in charge. So that was really fun to work with her.
So it's so important, too, that you get along with the people that you work, especially with music, because it's such an intimate thing, right?
Yeah.
you need to work with people that are easygoing.
Yeah. She was really good to work with.
So you did Fallen. What was another song?
Well, we did the album called Fallen.
Oh, you did the whole thing. You were on that whole.
Yeah. Well, it's in between. In certain songs, we did the vocals, and then the album that followed that, Open Door, we did that one as well. And on Open Door, we had more of a choir. There were more of us. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
She's from Riverside, I guess. I was looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So she's from California.
Mm.
Interesting.
Prior to that, though, I had done what was the project that I was going to mention? Yeah, the Four Winds project.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What about that Angels of Venice thing?
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. And what happened was we got signed to Windham Hill. Yeah, the Angels of Venice. And we did some tours on the East Coast and the West Coast. That was really exciting. That was a lot of fun.
That was such a great group because, I'm not embarrassed to say Joanne has helped me with some of my vocals on occasion. And I remember in the office you had in Sherman Oaks, and you had all those great posters of the Angels of Venice. It was a really good concept because all of you sort of, had a similar look, but different hair color, right?
It was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun. And we did all original music, and I played keyboards on that project. Mm-hmm. That wasn't a vocal project.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you sang too.
No, that was all instrumental.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we were on Windham Hill, because Windham Hill was the kind of label where they did more instrumental music. They did have some vocalists.
Got it.
That was a lot of fun. So we did a few albums. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that project, especially the touring. The touring was fun.
So you're a producer, you play the keys, you can arrange, and you sing. You write music.
Yeah, I'm actually a singer-songwriter. Yeah.
Is there anything else to add to that long list?
Well, she's a great teacher too.
Oh, and a great teacher.
Yeah, I do a lot of instructing. I produce other people. Yeah. A lot of it I've lately been doing on Zoom.
Yeah.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's really convenient. But yeah.
I remember I called you a couple months ago and I said, you got to listen to this podcast, Once Upon a Time at Bennington College. And the main protagonist of the story, he's a famous author, actually. He wrote, I think, Less Than Zero. Anyway, he went to the Buckley School, and it's this whole saga about the Buckley. It starts off at the Buckley School, so it made me think of you because you taught there at the Buckley School for a while.
I did. I taught there for quite some time. I loved teaching there.
Those celebrities kids, right?
Yeah, I had the celebrities kids. Yeah, it was really fun, and I got to work with a lot of very talented young people, and they ranged from like kindergarten to 12th grade. And these are children that they want to be musicians or actors. Right. I mean, they're serious about it right from the get-go. And so I had the opportunity to take some of the students that wanted to sing. I taught them how to play the piano as well, because I just feel like it's really essential for singers to understand the piano and use the piano for songwriting.
And to be able to read too, read music.
So some of my students actually, developed their songwriting, and they came in as wanting to be vocalists, but I helped transition them into being songwriters as well, because once I got them into the piano, then I was able to help them learn how to songwrite. I spent a lot of time doing that with them.
And I can attest that Joanne is a very good teacher because she's very patient.
That's one thing.
You were my teacher back then. I don't know.
What's funny is I was the worst student in the world.
Really?
I didn't want to practice the piano. I really hated practicing.
Most people do.
I just hated it. But now I'm so fascinated. Over the years, I just became so fascinated with the piano and, how you can structure. It's like an orchestra.
Yes.
True.
True.
And you have that beautiful piano at your home, which I've been, privy to seeing your home in Los Angeles.
And we were there together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When she travels a lot back and forth between East and West Coast, so I've gone in and watered a plant or two.
It's true. Yeah. He has done that for me.
Yeah.
But that's not your you're somewhere else though right now.
Yeah, I'm in Boston. I'm in Boston right now. Well, actually, Belmont.
Is it for a show or something, or?
No, actually, I'm in my mom's home right now, with my sister. Yeah.
I mean, y'all look just so accomplished. Your whole family in music, and it's just, I'm enamored, actually.
That's really sweet. Yeah, no, this is actually the studio that we practice in as kids.
Love it.
Yeah. And now you've got like nephews that are in it, musicians too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I have 5 nieces and nephews. They're all musicians. In fact, I think one of them is on my website. There's a link to his site. That's Raphael Paratore.
We're gonna post your website underneath.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
The show notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you.
But you wanted say it real quick, Joanne.
Yeah. What is your website?
It's joanneparatore.com.
Okay, great.
Sometimes it comes up as artistpromotions.us. It's the same website.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And
on that website, there's all the information about my background and my albums. Everything's on there. There's also some snippets of songs so you can listen to pieces of songs that I've written.
Yeah. I want to know about your new music. I know you were working on this collection, I don't know, a few years ago, and I heard some things. Is that the last?
Private Party. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Private Party.
Oh, that's what the whole album is called, Private Party?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
And that's adult contemporary music. It has some of it has a slight, no, there's all different songs in there. Some of them are poppy. Some of them are more orchestral. Another one is kind of soulful. Yeah, they're all different.
I know.
That was a fun project. I love doing that project.
I know. And you took some time with that. See, I remember.
Yeah.
You worked on it in one studio, then you went to another studio, right?
True. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I always feel like I have to go back in and do more, But at some point you have to let it go and just let it go out there.
How long did it take you to finish that? I'm just curious because you're so well-versed and well educated in music. And
which album? Romancing. The Romancing. Okay, Private Party. Wow. Let me think. It took about. Let me see. We started in. I would say about 6 months.
Oh, okay. Not that long.
Yeah, about 6 months. Because we tracked every single song. Takes quite a bit of time to do. Yes. At the bottom, you have to build it.
We're all musicians here, and
that's wonderful. You are a musician also?
I'm not as I don't know theory like you do, so it slows me down. So that's when you were saying teaching young kids what the strategy that you have is priceless, and I don't have that skill. And
I'm currently teaching coaching adults, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah. I have a rocker. I have a songwriter.
Who's your rocker? Do I know them?
They're just local people here on Houston.
Got it.
When I'm in Boston, I work with them. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's awesome. I hope I get to see you in LA soon. I haven't seen
you. I know. We're gonna have to get together. Not always on Zoom.
I know. Mm-hmm. So when do you like being in LA better or Boston?
You know what? I've struggled with this for years. When I'm in LA, I want to be in Boston. When I'm in Boston, I want to be in LA. I grew up in Boston, so Boston is my home. But Los Angeles was where my career is. and where, that's what.
And I know we've talked about this before. There's a certain freedom in LA too, with the freedom of thought, freedom of people, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what had me gravitate towards Los Angeles.
Right.
I liked that. I liked that it was multicultural and diverse.
And not so traditional in some ways, like
cold.
Yeah.
Not so cold.
I went to just to be an extra. I actually made it, but I didn't go because they wanted me to pay for room and board for a Leonard Cohen film inside Llewyn Davis. Yeah, no, I auditioned in New York when you were saying New York. And it was so cold, and I was like, do I want to live in LA now, or because I had a choice, like that was my choice. And I chose LA for that reason because it was so cold that the wind was blowing on our face. Like,
it's cold. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Houston, in Texas, in the South. So I like warmer weather.
Yeah.
I did a short when I was way young. We lived in New York. So
Queens, right? She was
Queens. Oh wow.
And in New Jersey. So but I always like the warmer weather, honestly.
Yeah, it's better on your system. I know.
And the beach.
Oh, the beaches, yeah. Although Cape Cod is incredible.
Yeah, Boston's the only big city that I haven't been to that I want to go, but I'm planning on making a trip maybe at the end of the year.
It's beautiful. And there's a lot of history here. And then there's, the music scene is huge because you have Berkeley, Berkeley College and Boston Conservatory.
And I think a lot of cute guys too. No,
all right with you. Let me know. I haven't seen any yet.
I like that. I like that Irish look. There's a lot of Irish people.
Yeah, there's a lot of Irish people here. We have everything here.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So is there anything else you want to ask her, Ly, that we haven't covered?
Yeah. So, if we're wrapping it up, I just wanted to say, is there anything that I know that you said you have private party promoting? Is there anything else that you want people to know, or how they can connect with you the best way?
I guess your website for sure.
Yeah, you can go to my website.
Yeah. So Joanne, it's, really been good talking with you. And I've known you for a long time, and you're a true blue musician. I will say that. Right.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I'm thankful that we, been friends for all this time, and I really appreciate you coming on.
I'm very grateful for our friendship, and it was so nice meeting you too, Ly.
Same. Thank you so much for coming on.
Okay.
As they say in yoga, namaste.
Ciao.